Stunt. So this is pretty much the basic trap locations for the top lane that I use. Pretty much this is it. I guess one more spot here. Okay. And then other than these, the traps that you'll get to see me using it is mostly for, probably these two spots are okay too, but mostly for the minions. I use it on the minions to clear the minion wave, or when they're jumping onto me, I use it onto the minion so that minion pops it so they get hit by the AoE slow and damage. Generally, the first few traps that we can go over is, hold on a second, okay, I'm not used to this. Okay, so these 1, 2, these are the probably number 1 and 2, or 1 and 2. These are the top 2 traps that I place the most of times. Whenever I hit the 6, I either place it here or here. Why is this so important? It's because whenever you're trading or when enemy is ganking you, right? Whenever you're trading when enemy is ganking you, they can either come from this spot to gank you, or they could also come from lane bush, or they could also come from lane. They could also come from here. All the spots, if you position yourself to around to be this spot, then they will get hit by this trap and you can run this way, or either that or this way, you know. So that's why I use this trap, like I place it at first. And that applies same thing for this trap too, if you're on the other side as a Teemo. And or if you're pushing, then this trap is also pretty meaningful. This trap, the way that it gets used is, so let's say I'm pushed up and I hit my level 6 and I place a trap right here. Enemy, if they were to gank me, they have a lot of routes. They could come from this way, even just from the lane, or even from the bush. All these spots, if you just position yourself to run this way, then they will get hit by this trap, and you can just freely run that way. Click the middle to hide the league bar. Oh, hold on. Ah, that's more clean. Yeah, okay. Thanks, man. Yep. So this top 2 traps are those 2. Let me clear this. Yeah, these 2. And then the other traps, offensive traps that I use most of the time are probably this one.
Now we wait.
Dang, what do I use? This one. If I'm on the blue side, then this is pretty much the offensive trap, or this one even. And if I'm on the this side, the top side, let's say I'm top side Teemo. Let's do this. Top side Teemo. Then I use this trap. Damn it! How do I use this? This trap and this trap for offensive trap. Yeah, offensive traps are those 2. What I mean by offensive trap is that it allows you to give you a kill. So the way that trading goes is like this. I'll probably have to put the replay of my own gameplay too for this. So let's say first I'm on the bottom side Teemo. Let's say I'm bottom side Teemo, and there is a, like I said, this trap and this trap, and sometimes this trap too, but this trap doesn't really work that often. But we will also time these 2. These 2, the way it works is that, okay, so you guys just traded. The top laner just jacks Aurelia, anyone went on you, and then they start backing off. As they're backing off, they could just run straight up backward. But if you chase them in the certain direction, they wouldn't be just straight up going backward like this. You don't want that to happen. The way that you want them to run away, the way that you want to manual their running away route is to run this way or that way, so that they get hit by either this trap or that trap. And how do you manage that? How do you manage them to run that way? Is that where's the practice part? So let's guess that this is the Jackstead who's trying to run away from you. So if you chase this way, like this way, and you just keep chasing like this, they wouldn't be running this way or that way most of the time. So you have to chase, turn, and this way. If you chase this way, so from right to the top side, then they will start running like this, like that. You guys get what I'm saying? Because you are chasing this way. So, and that applies to the other way too. As the trade finishes, you're gonna chase, auto, 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 auto. So the way it works is that trade, auto, 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 auto. Why are they running that way though? Because they have to run that way in order to not get hit by the Teemo's auto tech often. If you run straight up forward like this, like, then Teemo's gonna consistently be able to auto tech. So they have to give as much distance as possible from Teemo to themselves. So that's why if you change your route to the diagonally, then they have to change their running escape to running route to the diagonally too. So that's why they end up running this way. And that's how it works for the Teemo on the bottom side, and Teemo on the top side, pretty much the same example. I placed the trap right here, right? And this one too. You cannot just chase them like in the middle like this. You don't want them to run this way. So you don't want to chase that way. You gotta chase like this.
Not a good day for me.
Hey, thanks for sub. So like you want them to get hit by the trap. So you gotta turn yourself into the bottom spot more like. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Or probably on that spot too. So like, kinda like that. If you locate yourself more to the bush side, they will get hit by this trap. If you locate yourself more to the river side or bottom side, as you're chasing, then they'll get hit by that trap.
Now we wait.
Does that make sense? So I guess that's top,
One day
like,
there'll be a reckoning.
the most effective way that I get a kill. Yeah. And that's probably pretty much it. That's like 80% of my lane phase. I use these two traps for my own safeties, and this one kinda secures it. And then these offensive traps. Yeah, these offensive traps. And then the bush traps are not always recommended. It's only if you feel like that you're gonna get ganked by enemy from the bush. Especially a champion like Rengar likes to do a lane gank a lot. Yeah, Rengar. Rengar or even Evelyn, those type of champions comes to the bush and then trying to jump in. Not just them either. Like Sejuani can also do it. Zac also does it. Yeah, and you wanna that's completely depending on how the game goes. If you do feel like that enemy jungler has the time to spend on top lane to just hide inside the bush a lot. And another trick with this is I used to do this a lot back in season 5. I used to call two different traps, a vision trap and damage trap. What do you guys think this is called? This is called a damage trap. Why is that? I want to hit them with my trap. But what about this one? Is it a damage trap or a vision trap? That's a vision trap because I'm not trying to hit them. So what the fuck does that trap do? Like, you're not trying to hit them with it, and what does that do? That only provides you a vision. So let's say if enemy jungler stays inside the bush and, you know, okay, so let's say I trapped here and they come from here. Let's say there was no trap on that location. So they come this side and then they hide. They're not getting hit by it. They're not getting hit by the trap, but I'm able to see them. I'm able to see them, and then they don't know that. They don't know that I'm able to see them. So all I gotta do is that I just gotta act like, oh, I'm gonna go into your top laner who's standing right here. So I'm just acting like that I don't know. What happens to this jungler then? He gets to waste his time. That's pretty much it. That's what I used to use often, like that. Do I recommend that? Yeah, it's pretty smart. It's pretty smart to do it, but I only do it if I have leftover trap to do so. And it's actually quite risky. Is it that effective? Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. So the thing is, if they get hit by the trap as they go inside the bush, like let's say they sneak into the bush and they wanna, as soon as they get hit by the trap, most of the junglers, oh, I got hit by the trap, I'm just gonna back out. Fuck you, top laner. I'm not gonna gank, you know? And so they just back out. But if they don't get hit by the trap, then they stay. They stay. They think that Teemo doesn't know that they are insider. It's an okay strategy. I used to do back in season 3 a lot, but I mean 3 seasons ago, but not that much anymore. What else is there? Oh yeah, this trap. This trap, I highly recommend. This is a highlight right here. You have to place a trap right here. Not here. Not here. This spot. Okay? Where's the trash can? Yeah, this spot, this spot. Fuck. This. Sorry. This spot. I placed it right here. That's fine too. Why is that? Because of this. Come on.
I've done things I'm not proud of.
Look at where. Oh, actually, I can do it this way, right?
Now.
So look at where this dummy is going. Well, he didn't. It's not always that the dummy lands at that spot, but sometimes the jungler, when they pop this, they end up being in this location instead of that location. I did something about this dummy. Yeah, I did wrong. But they end up putting themselves on that location, not here. So, like, you want to hit them with the trap as soon as they pop this. Why is that? Because that's like, they only use that when they're able to like fuck you up really hard. So if you place a trap right here, let's say if you didn't place a trap right here, and you're trading against an enemy who is sitting right this spot. So I'm trading. I do have a trap on these two spots, but that's not safe enough. The jungler, even if I place a trap right here, the jungler pops the plant right here, and then they suddenly appears this spot. Even though that you have placed a trinket, that you have covered the entire, like, fuck. Sorry. Come on. Okay. So I have a complete vision of these areas, right? But then the jungler just suddenly pops this spot. So I needed to know them to be coming, like this distance is completely getting wrecked, right? Because he's just suddenly popped on this spot. So even if I have a trap right there on the lane face, come on. Oh, sorry. On these two, on these three, whatever, it's not enough for me to get out from the jungler. Like sometimes jungler just dash, flash R, Sejuani, Lee Sin, A lot of champions can do that.
Tall folk don't last long.
So that's why you want to slow them down with this trap right there. Yeah. As soon as they get hit by the trap, they get slowed down. They're trying to go onto me. They're gonna get slowed down again on this trap too. Yeah. The safest way is just to pop this plant away, but you can't always do that, right? In order to pop this plant away, you gotta walk all the way like this. I'm gonna walk all the way and then pop it and go back to where my all the way pushed up lane right here is. Right? Or I can place a trinket right here and then pop it a little bit. It reduces my time to take it out. But then I have to spend my trinket for it. You could also place a trap, but then right now I'm level 8 tank. I'm not level 6. If you're in your level 6, your trap location, like you could place it right here. And that's not enough to give you a vision to pop the plant. So
innocent anymore.
yeah, the best thing is just to place a trap right here. And another thing is this trap. What this trap allows you to do is that if they place a pink core right here, you are able to have a vision of enemy pink core right here. Because when pink core can detect this trap, then pink core shows itself too. So I don't have to go inside all the way bush, or I don't have to place a trinket inside a bush to kill the pink cord. I'm already able to see the pink cord is placed at here or not by placing this trap and hit it. And let's say if they place the pink cord right here, then it's not gonna detect it, but it's still gonna help you. Why? Because jungler can also gank, you know, this route, and they'll get hit by this trap. Or even this route is possible, you know. This trap is really good for killing a pink ward, or even slowing down the enemy jungler's gank.
I used to
what else
live
is
by
there?
a code.
That's pretty much it. And then I also have placed a trap right here, trap right here, trap right there. You know, these are also like all, you know what the purpose is, right?
A part of you
Probably-
never leaves the jungle.
I guess this one is a little bit important too. It's a play around this big thick
One
rock.
with the jungle.
Yeah, this is like, I guess, one of my favorite move. The way it works is this. See, I have you just need like 1, 2. Pretty much at the initial you only need 2 traps. 1, 2, 1, 2. But if you want to make a more bigger play, then you want to place this trap, that trap. Pretty much 5 traps then you can do, or probably 1 more trap inside the trap bush too. So the way it works is that, let's say if you're fed enough to be able to crush the enemy top laner 1v1, right? So when you're able to do that kind of stuff, you're definitely gonna get ganked. You're definitely gonna get ganked by enemy jungler or support or mid laner, or they could have pulled out 5-man top. So what is their route to kill you? They could come, they could go to you on this route, or this route, right? Or even this route, or that route. Whatever, it's usually like that. That's probably all the possibilities that I can think of, right? Unless they have a Twist of Fate who can just pop right there. And as that happens, you can rotate around. You can run around this thick rock and just, you know, auto them, back out, auto them. If they're trying to turn their let's say they were initially coming from this side, but then since you're turning this way, they also turn this way. Then you just gotta turn back, and then place the trap again. Trap. So as they are keep trying to get onto you, you just wanna keep circling around this rock and make sure that they get hit by the trap, and then keep auto attacking and kite them. I've done this play quite a lot, and this is probably one of my favorite. And it's really fun when you succeed. Yeah, when you succeed with it, it's really, really exciting. that's about it
Good men die.
for the
I
top
choose
lane.
to live.
And you can place more traps like right here. What else is there? That's pretty much it. Yeah. Also placing this entrance right here, it helps you against there are some junglers that cannot really jump over the wall, like not the Rek'Sai, like Lee Sin kind of stuff.
Never get
Oh yeah,
attached.
against the Rek'Sai, you want to place a trap like around this spot or even this spot, because the way that Rek'Sai ganks is like they come through. Yeah, they come through here. Have you guys ever get ganked by Rek'Sai? Yeah, Rek'Sai goes here, this spot, and then they cave through. Like this. Rek'Sai is really hard to get away from the gank. Yeah, because they do this shit. Is Zac, if it was a Zac, he doesn't even have to stand on here, but Zac also does about the same job. Zac can like jump from probably here to all the way up there. Yeah, the Zac's jump is really long. Probably the longest. On those kind of junglers, against those, you just want to spread your trap a little bit farther away, instead of placing your trap in the your lane. And the way that it works is that if you're really fed, then you don't have to spread your traps. But if you're not fed and you're against a jungler like Rek'Sai or Zac who can gank like this much distance gap close, then you want to spread it out. You want to spread it out. You want, as you're spreading out, you know that you're not spending your trap for your lane phase, so you're kind of weak in the lane phase. You kind of have to go more passive. Like, even though that you're facing against the same champion, like let's say Singed or Tryndamere, such an easy champion, if enemy team has a Rek'Sai or Zac, those kind of stuff, you have to respect them and you have to play more safe. Even though that you can crush the enemy top laner, just because to respect the enemy jungler. Yeah. The way that I play is like that. I just play to not to die. If you play like that every single game, you become very consistent, solid player, and you'll just gradually rank up.
Yeah. Started the
and that's how I got my 2 Chelly accounts. And currently my one last account is a Master Tier. That's about to hit Challenger too. That's about it. And I am currently working on a build too. The Gunblade build, just testing it out. I don't really know which build is the best way to build after they nerfed the Remnant Watcher. Still experimenting a lot. I think that's about it for my guide.